Welcome back, everyone. I hope you've had a great week. Leave me a comment about how your week has gone. I hope you were up to the challenge last week. This week, I want to talk a little bit more about relationships, but I want you to think for a moment about someone that you really love, whether it be a child or a grandchild, or your mother, father, sister, brother, spouse, whoever. Just think about that person for a moment and how much you love them. And why do you love them? And do you know them? You know, those people that we love so dearly, we spend time with and we get to know. You know, I spend time with my family and I know what they think, how they think on certain topics and the things that they like, and I know what they're interested in because I spend time with them. Well, today I want to talk about that relationship with God. And in Psalm 139, I would like you this week to read that entire chapter. But I'm just going to read the first 3 verses. It says, "O Lord, you have searched me and known me. You know my sitting down and my rising up and understand my thought afar off. You compass my path and my lying down and are acquainted with all my ways." Do you know that God loves you so much and knows everything about you? He loves you enough to watch you all the time, to see what you're doing, to see what you like, to know what you're interested in, and to want to bless you. That's how much he loves you. He would do anything. He did do everything for you when he sent his son Jesus to die for you. Jesus willingly did that because he loves you. How much more should we be loving him back? When you love someone, whoever that person was that you were thinking about, don't you want their love back? I want my family to love me back. I love when they love me as much as I love them. And that's the way God is with us. He says, I want you to know me and to love me. We talked a few weeks ago about loving God with everything that we are. But what about knowing God? Do you know how God feels about things? What he thinks, what he wants of you, what he wants you to do, where he wants you to go? Do you know what God is really, truly interested in? Ephesians 3:19 says this, "And to know the love of Christ which passeth knowledge, that you might be filled with all the fullness of God." Do you know that kind of love that God gives you is beyond our thinking? It's beyond what we can grasp. We think we understand love when we hold our little baby, or we get married, or we have children, or we, this love of our parent, whoever it is that, it could just be a friend that you're really close to. We think we understand love, but we just have a glimpse of that true love of God. Just a glimpse. God loves us so much, and he wants to fill us with all his goodness. But we should want to know the love of Christ, which passes knowledge. I can try and figure that out in my mind, but until I really experience it by spending time with God, by spending time reading his word, then I start to understand in my spirit. Now, my mind can't really comprehend it. I can't comprehend eternity. I can't. There's nothing I can compare eternity with. It's just beyond my understanding. As well as the love of God. Man, his love is something that is beyond my understanding. The way he holds the stars in the sky and the way he keeps all these planets in orbit around the sun, I don't understand that. And the way that he continues to take time for me and take time for you, that's beyond my understanding. But we need to try to understand more and more every day by spending time with him. Again, I want to challenge you this week. I don't know how your week went. Maybe you spent a few days and, neglected a few days. We all have those times where we neglect God. This week, I want to challenge you again to spend time every day. And a lot can be said about spending time in the morning. There's a lot of verses in the Bible that talk about spending that morning, that first part of your day with God. It's really important that we spend time with God every single day. And the more we do, the more we can hear his voice. I was reminded this week of a friend of mine had asked me to share a favorite verse. Well, there's a lot of favorite verses in the Bible. But the first one that came to mind was in John 15, where he says, "Abide in me and I in you." It talks about so many things that come from abiding in Jesus. And that means that we're staying in that communication, in that relationship with him. It's not about a religious experience. It's about a relationship, just like you have with that loved one. It's a relationship where he talks to you. You may not hear an audible voice, but he speaks to your spirit to let you know right from wrong, to let you know to have peace in a situation that you have to make a decision on. He lets you know to have peace in the situations going on in the world today. But abiding in him, let's just read one of those verses. 15:9 says, "As the Father hath loved me, so have I loved you. Continue in my love." This is Jesus again talking. Don't you think the Father loves Jesus an awful lot? But just like he loves Jesus, that's how he loves you. And he says, continue. Don't stop. Continue in my love every single day. So this week, I'm continuing the challenge with you. Every single day, even if you just read Psalm 139, even if you read a verse a day, because it is a little bit long, or a chapter a day, or if you get in there and you start reading books of the Bible, the important thing is that you have some quality time with God. Talk to him. Spend some time telling him thank you for all the things that he's given you. This week, the challenge continues. Spend time with God every day. Talk with him, walk with him. Try every moment of your day to think of things to talk to God about. Have a good week.